Venom 3 The Last Dance was released in 2024 and was directed by Kelly Marcel. It tells the story of Eddie and Venom, who are on the run as they're being hunted by not just the military, but also a group of symbiote hunters from Venom's home world. I want to give a huge special thank you to my great friend Dara for a great day out in Odeon Blanchardstown. Dara, I had a really nice day with you. It was really nice to see you again. It really means a lot. And thank you so much. And I have to say, IMAX was a really nice experience. This was my first time doing an IMAX showing, and I have to say, it's a really nice experience. The auditorium is enormous for IMAX. I would more than happy do IMAX again. Thank you very much, man. It really does mean a lot. It was a really nice day. I didn't know what to expect going into the third Venom movie. On rewatch, I have to say, for someone that really disliked the first movie when they first watched it, the first film's kind of grown on me. I have very mixed feelings on it. There's elements of it that I don't like, but there's also elements that I do like. So I have to say, I'm kind of starting to come around on the first one. The second one, though, just as bad as I remember. The second one stinks. I really don't like the second one. My biggest problem is the writing. It's really dumb. There's no thought, there's no effort, and it's just a really stupid movie. There's some merit, but it's not enough to save it. It just sucks in my book. And the third one, a little bit messy in areas, but I gotta say, it's fun. And me and my friend Dara, we had a fun time with this one. I have to say, Venom 3 The Last Dance is actually the best of the three. I can't believe I'm saying that because I didn't think it could be, but it is. This film actually quite surprised me. The story, though, it's a bit messy. I feel there's way too much focus on Venom and Eddie. Now, yes, they are the film's best aspect. Their dynamic is the strengths of the movie. But I think there's way too much focus and screen time on them. And is it just me, or do I feel like we barely get to see Venom in full form? It could be just me, I could be wrong, but I don't know, something just felt a little short in my book. I think my biggest problem, though, was the lack of focus on the other elements, such as the military and the symbiote lore. I think if had the film been a lot longer, because the movie's only 110 minutes, and I honestly think the movie could have been 2 hours and 15 minutes. I don't understand why it's less than 2 hours, because I think if it had been a little longer than 2 hours, there could have been more focus to help the military feel more developed and to help flesh out the lore about the symbiotes. It makes the other elements feel a little underdeveloped and a little half-cooked, I feel. I think they should have just cut down the focus on Venom and Eddie a little bit and help focus more on the other elements to make them feel fleshed out. I also think the humour, while it is really funny and some of the corniness does work, I think my only problem is that at times it can be very unhinged and very questionably random. Sometimes you're kind of going, what's going on? And I think it doesn't really fit in the movie. I feel we are kind of spending a little too much time on cheesiness rather than helping develop elements that do need a bit of development. So I do think there is a lack of focus in the story. There's way too much emphasis on Venom and Eddie. But the story's not bad, it's just a little half-cooked, I'd say. Visually, the movie looks great. There's some great shots, the effects, CGI look fantastic, the transformations are sick, the symbiote designs are really cool, the movements are awesome. There's some really good action scenes, especially in terms of the visuals, and watching it in IMAX made the experience even better. And the climax is really good. I was very impressed with the climax, I have to say. And I think the performances are really good. You can really tell that Tom Hardy loves this character. He puts so much effort into his performance, and it really shows. And even the voice acting for Venom is really good. It's so iconic, I'd say. And as for the film's characters, a little bit of a mixed bag. Despite a little too much emphasis, I do have to say Venom and Eddie are good in this movie, and their dynamic with one another is definitely at its best in this film, and the story arc for them is wrapped up very nicely, I gotta admit. The military, they were good enough, but I wish we got more with them to help develop their characters. There just wasn't a lot to them, I felt. They were decent, but I wish we got more. I also like the family that Eddie does be with. They're actually pretty good characters, and they're actually funnier than I was expecting. And as for Null, I don't want to say too much just to avoid spoiling, but I felt he was okay. So I do think a good chunk of the characters are a little underdeveloped, and I do feel that is because of the lack of focus with the story. But I do have to say, the best characters in the movie are pretty good. And the film's music actually really surprised me. There's actually some really nice songs here. There's a song at the end of the movie. When I was watching it, at first I felt it was a little random. I'm not going to get in too much just to avoid spoiling. But the more I thought about it, the more I said, you know what? The song actually really works. And I have to say, the ending, I kind of felt at first it was a little out of nowhere. But the more I think about it, the more I actually appreciate it. I think the ending is a really nice send off and a really good way to conclude the trilogy. So I feel the first one is a bit of a mixed bag, but does have some redeeming qualities. The second one I just think is bad, but I'm happy to say with the third one, I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. Overall, while Venom 3 is quite flawed, I do have to say I do think it is a nice conclusion to the trilogy. The story, it is a little bit messy and there is a few underdeveloped characters, but it does have some good action, some very nice moments here and there, good music, and it's quite funny at times as well. It's also a very nice send off for Eddie Brock and Venom, I think. I'm going to give Venom 3 The Last Dance a 7 out of 10. So yeah, I have to say I'm very surprised with Venom 3, and you know what? The more I think about it, the more I actually really like it. So I think my rating could increase over time. So that's it for my review of Venom 3. Let me know what you guys think of the movie down in the comments section below. How would you guys rank the Venom movies? Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you once again, Dara, for a great day out. It really does mean a lot. Stay tuned for the next review, guys. And until then, take care, everyone, and skadoosh.
Happy Halloween, everybody, and have a great night.